Hey everyone, very good morning. Hope all of you are doing good. So before I proceed further, can you guys quickly confirm? Can all of you see my screen and hear my voice properly? I'm actively monitoring both YouTube and Discord. So you can confirm me by using the chat option available at the right top corner in Discord and live chat option in YouTube. Can all of you see my screen and hear my voice clearly? Is everything clear? Okay. Yeah, thank you Manju and down for free. Thank you for confirmation. All right, so before I begin, a quick disclaimer. Any information that I'm going to share on today's session is going to be an educational purpose only. It's not for any buy or sell recommendation. Please go through thorough research before taking any further decisions, because every single decision that you take here are subject to market risk. Okay, so there is someone saying can't see on YouTube. Okay, I think just give me a moment. Yeah, so from my end, I think everything is clear. I'm live in YouTube as well, so kindly refresh once to get the feed. Okay, so well, let's straight away get into the chart and go through our regular process. Just a moment. Well, so as we all know that we have a framework. If you are attending our session on a regular basis, we have a framework that we don't randomly take a decisions. We have a certain process to go through. All right, so basically I call it as a TLE. All right, so that means the first step is to identify the trend. Okay, so in simple words, if the market is making higher highs and higher lows, right, so in terms of the price historically, so then we assume that existing trend is primarily moving in uptrend, and hence we look for uptrend opportunities or buying opportunities. Similarly, if market is making lower lows and lower highs, then we will look for shorting opportunities. And if market is moving or making a move in sideways market, then we will look for buy low and sell high strategy. So the importance of identifying the trend is to have the context in mind that in which direction we need to align. So that is the basic step. And once that is done, we have a second step, which is to okay, so the second step is to identify the locations, desirable locations. First thing is that we identified the trend, and second step is to identify the desirable locations in simple sense. Basically support and resistance for intraday, like previous day high, previous day low, and initial 1 hour high and 1 hour low. Those are the levels, key levels for us to monitor the price action. So basically the identification of the level is very important, because once we identified the trend, we need to align with the trend by when market approaches to these levels, we will take a decisions according to the existing trend. This is the second step. And third step is basically nothing but the core of the strategy, which is entry and exit. That's where we are going to utilize the information of order flow using the bookmap tool. All right, so I hope this is clear to you. First thing is to identify the trend. Second step is to identify the desirable locations, and third step is to get into entry and exits. Just a moment. Yeah, entry and exit. Yeah, so entry and exit using the bookmap chart. Sorry. So I hope this is clear. Let's go through the process. So first thing is to identify the trend. I'm looking at the Nifty 30-minute chart. Since we are going to trade, or we are going to use the opportunities in a very short period of time, so then we are going to identify the primary trend in 30-minute chart. All right, so if you just look at the 30-minute chart, we can clearly see at the present moment this is a swing high, swing low, swing high and swing low. At the present moment, market is making lower lows and lower highs. So clearly it means that at the present moment the primary trend is moving in the downward direction. All right, So although, okay, so this is one of the context, but if you look at the broader picture of the market, this is a very important information. If you look at the market on a broader level, from this point market was moving in the upward direction, and this is where we saw the reversal. And as you can see, it is breaking last all kind of supports, right? So this is one of the major support, and presently market is trading at this particular level. Why this level is very critical, let me explain you. All right, so this particular level, or you can call it as a zone. Okay, so just a moment. This is not a broker's data. This is a data that I'm getting from TrueData, and the software that I'm using is a NinjaTrader. All right, but after this we will move on to the Bookmap chart. Don't worry. So this zone is absolutely critical because you can see the importance of it. From this point, it has registered and same has supported again. That means it has acted as a support level, polarity support level as well. Almost as in when market respects that particular level for more the numbers it respects, then obviously the significance of this kind of zones or levels increases. That's why at the present situation, this particular level is going to be very critical level. All right. So in that sense, considering the present existing trend moving in downward direction, all right, so until unless market stays below this level, okay, below 18,030 level, we may look for a short trade. But on an immediate note basis, okay, on an immediate note basis, the sellers were unable to trade the market below previous day low. So that means either a sideways market, or the break of this particular level can bring further up momentum in the market, or we can simply look for the shorting opportunities when market again approaches to this particular level. 18,030 level is where we can look for the shorting opportunities provided by the information of order flow that I will be explaining in the later section of the session. Okay, so this is basic context. Once this context is clear, we need to identify in the second step, we need to identify the immediate key levels for the market. Okay, so in that sense, this zone, as I said, 18,030 to 40 level is going to play the critical role, and immediate support and resistances, that means the previous day and previous day high and previous day low, and today's low is also almost near to previous day low, so that's why I'm not changing anything over there. These are the key levels where we can monitor the price action. Okay, so I hope this context is clear. Until unless price sustains below this particular zone, we can look for shorting opportunities, especially at this particular level. If the market approaches here and if it provides a certain signals, then we can look for shorting opportunities by immediately targeting the previous day low. This is one of the context. If market is spending more the time without coming down from this particular level, then we can also look for a long opportunities provided with certain patterns, which I will be explaining in the later section. Okay, so I hope this context is clear to you. Entry and not entry, so basically the trend and key levels for Nifty and for Bank Nifty. Okay, so let me delete this. For Bank Nifty, it's looking a different scenario. So let's zoom in a bit and see. So in terms of the trend, no doubt that at the present moment, market is making lower lows and lower highs. So in that sense, market is presently trending in the downward direction. However, just a moment. So here, the previous day low was clearly rejected. All right. So just a moment. Yeah. So the initial sellers who entered here in this particular candle were unable to trade were unable to push the market below previous day low, and hence we can also look for a long opportunities here in terms of the Bank Nifty, but the break of this particular level will be the further confirmation to go for long trade. But until price sustains below this particular level, we can look for shorting opportunities. What is this level? This level is nothing but the previous day high. So this is one of the key levels. So just a moment. Previous day high. So until price sustains below 42,330. Okay, so this is the level 42,330. we can look for shorting opportunities, even if we get some signals by using some patterns over here. If short kind of trade opportunity occurs here, then we can also look for shorting opportunities. But if market sustains above previous day high, then our initial view negates, and we can look for long opportunities instead of shorting opportunities in Bank Nifty as well. And immediate key levels to monitor the price action is the today's high. So I just want to keep the level 41,640 and 42,310, roughly 42,310, which is previous day high, and immediate swing which is at 42,727. So these are the key levels for Bank Nifty. In either cases, we have same kind of context. So basically, Nifty, we want the price to sustain below 18,030 to look for any shorting opportunities. Similarly, for Bank Nifty, it has to sustain below 42,320. So if price sustains above these levels in both the scripts, then we look for long opportunities. I hope this particular context is clear to you. With this context, we will move on to the next discussion, which is basically how we can take entry and exits using the Bookmap chart. Okay, so just a moment. Yeah. So this is the Nifty chart. I'm presently looking at Nifty Bookmap chart. So there are so many indicators. I can understand if there are any beginners, maybe you may get confused with this. So let me disable all these things and give you the basic context of it. Okay, so last sessions also we have discussed about different indicators. By any chance, if you are complete beginners, I highly recommend that you watch out our last sessions to get some ideas about it. But anyway, I will give you the basic insights of what these indicators are all about. Okay, so just a moment. Just a moment. Okay, so the moment you look at it, we immediately notice that there is a red line and green line. That is nothing but the best bid and best offer. If you open a depth of any particular script, you will see the 5 depth information in our markets presently, and the immediate best bid and best offer will be historically recorded. So what it does with this particular information, we will be able to identify the patterns within the candle. How? So let me show you. So if I enable the candle, okay, so if you go to the candlestick enable option, so this is a 15-minute candlestick charts that I have enabled. By just looking at the candlestick, we will be only looking at open, high, low, close, where the market opened, where the market closed, where is the high, where is the low. This is the 4 data information that we get. But if you look at the BBO indicator, so this is nothing but the best bid and best offer indicator, which shows us the structure that is been forming within the candlestick. So this is one of the beauty of this particular indicator. In that sense, we don't necessarily have to wait for the confirmation of the candle. We can immediately get into the trade by just using the BBO confirmation, and then we can exit the trade also without confirmation of the candlestick. So in that sense, the delay that we get, entry and exit delays that we get from candlesticks will be almost eliminated in certain sense. So this is the benefit of BBO indicator. And then immediately you notice that there is a green and red bubble. Okay, these are nothing but the delta information. So delta in the sense, basically at any given point of time, there will be a market buy orders, there will be a market sell orders. So that's what makes the market move up and down. All right. So for example, at some point of time, at some particular price level, assume that 10 market buy orders got executed and 5 market sell orders got executed. So this is nothing but the market buy, this is the market sell, market buy, market sell, market buy minus market sell is equal to delta. So at that particular point of time and at that particular price level, 5 is the delta. So the green indicates, the green bubble indicates at this particular level, there was a buy orders executed, market buy orders executed. And also the immediately thing that we can do with the bubble is that we can say it as a dot. So you can enable this going to the studies configuration information and volume dots. Okay, so you can change the size of volume dots here. It gives us the relative difference also. So for example, let's say this is also the red bubble and here also we have the red dot. And if you compare both, all right, so you will be able to see that this bubble is bigger. In that sense, even though the both levels, the sell orders got executed, market sell orders got executed, more number of sellers executed the market sell orders at this particular price level. That is the information we get to see immediately when we look at the information of dots. All right. So similar goes with the green as well. So basically green bubble indicates a market buy orders, presence of market buy orders, and comparison of it will tell us that where the maximum number of buy orders got executed. So don't worry how to use this information. You will get to know that eventually after this particular discussion. So once this is clear to you, then we have a, this yellow line. So this is nothing but the point of control. How do we get it? So calculation of it is very simple. Point of control is a price level where the maximum number of orders getting placed, transaction are taking place at that particular point of time. So for example, when market opened, maximum number of orders got executed at this price level, and immediately that particular level got shifted to the lower levels, and until this point of time the POC was trading at lower level. All right. So point of control is the price level where maximum number of transactions are taking place. In simple word, it is nothing but the price acceptance. So if the point of control is increasing consistently in the upward direction, then it means that higher price levels are getting accepted parallelly. So that means it indicates a healthy uptrend. All right. So your primary opportunity, you are looking for a primary opportunity at shorting opportunity. In that sense, if the POC is also aligning with your direction, that's one of the good sign that you are present, whatever your thought process is, that is presently working, and also it is showing in terms of the point of control, the price is getting accepted at the lower level. So as and when this happens, price will continue to trade in the downward direction. So I'll explain you that. So how to enable this? As you can see over here, that the right corner we have the volume profiles. Okay. So basically volume profile will help us to see the accumulations, where the maximum number of accumulations are taking place. For example, at the present moment, this is where we have the maximum accumulation, and hence we have a point of control trading at that particular price level. And similarly, this is also this is where also we have a distribution, and here also we have a distribution. So basically it tells us in terms of the volume relatively where the maximum number of orders are getting placed. So in that sense, point of control indicates the particular price level, but this shows us the profile. All right. So when you go to the setting of volume profile, if you go to the session wise volume profile, right click on it, configure column, and then there is an option to enable point of control. Okay, you can change the appearance setting and everything based on the setting that are available over here. So you can simply disable and enable it here. Once you enable it, you will be able to see the point of control. Okay, so point of control, again I want to repeat, it helps us to identify the immediate change in the trend or immediate shift in the trend. So if it is continuously making higher highs and basically if it is making a higher highs in consistently, that means it indicates a healthier uptrend because it shows the acceptance in the higher level prices. All right, so I hope this is clear. Then we have something called as cumulative volume delta here. Okay, so it informs two important information. It gives us two critical information. First thing is that, as you can see, this is a zero level. Okay, and until unless the cumulative delta sustains above this particular level, the software will identify it as a green color. That means buyers are, until this stage the buyers were strong. Okay, and after that sellers are taking control in terms of the orders. It is not in terms of the price. So I want to recall it. It is in terms of the orders. How the cumulative volume delta calculated? Let me explain you in a simple words. Okay, assume that it's an 18k level. Okay, previous 18k level of the Nifty, where the delta, okay, delta nothing but aggressive buy, aggressive sell. That's the difference between them. So basically assume that at 18,000 level there is a 10 delta. Okay, 10 positive delta. And similarly for next price level, okay, so for next transaction, assume that it is around 15 minus, that means a negative delta. So market sell orders are more in the next transaction. So what it does, it simply summates, or it simply add the last value to the present value and make it as a cumulative value. So 10 minus 15 minus 5. So basically in this particular sense, for the when there is a transaction of minus 15, so cumulative delta become minus 5. Again, it continues to happen until when there is a new transactions are taking place in the market. So that's what the line we are seeing. So basically, if the cumulative delta is increasing, aggressiveness in the buying side is increasing. If the cumulative delta is dropping, that means aggressive in terms of the sellers are increasing in the market. All right. So the question here is, once this is done, okay, just a moment, how we can use the cumulative delta information? Basically, like, if you use the RSI and all, so basically you have an idea that there is a convergence and divergence concepts, right? If the price is sustaining lower lows and lower highs, okay, so assume that market is making a lower lows and lower highs, but the aggressiveness, okay, so the volume information in terms of the cumulative volume delta, it is making higher and higher lows. So there is a divergence between the price movement and the cumulative delta. So that's an opportunity for us to look for the trend reversal trades as well, the mean reversal trades. Again, I want to recall, make sure that you are aligning to our context. So the first trend identification is absolutely critical, and you have to have this particular context in mind, and with respect to that context, you need to play the game here. So assume that if you are looking for a long opportunities and price was making a lower lows and lower highs, and immediately you got the divergence between the price and cumulative delta, that's the point where you can look for buying opportunities. How you can do that? So basically based on the pattern. Okay, so assume that in this case market has broken the last swing high, and again it is making a shorter correction, and break of the next swing is basically nothing but the long entry. So first thing is to identify the trend. We identified the trend and we are trying to align with that particular trend using the information of Bookmap tools. All right. So I have explained cumulative volume delta and point of control, and also BBO indicator, dots. And now I will be adding one more indicator, and after that I will come to the entry and exit part, how we can combine all the information and take the effective decisions. So I will be adding an absorption indicator. Okay. So absorption indicator is nothing but, okay, let me show you the setting and explain you. So in that sense, it will be easier for you to understand. Okay. So if you just go to the absorption indicator, okay, the condition says, this is a condition. Okay. So that says if within 2.5 seconds, okay, so that's the default setting. I haven't changed anything over here. If within 2.5 seconds, 6,608 quantities executed, then it will identify that particular price or that particular transaction as an absorption. What it means, for example, let's say market is moving in upward direction. Immediately someone is placing, okay, in this case it's 6,600. Assume that it's a 5k quantity. Okay, 5k quantity is market buy orders. Okay, they are the market buy orders, but the same orders got executed within 2.5 seconds. So that gives us a hint that even though this 5k orders executed aggressively in terms of the market buy orders, someone is passively consuming those orders within 2.5 seconds. You are getting the point? It is happening at a same price level, one particular price level, within fraction of seconds, maximum number of orders are getting consumed. So that indicates a buyer consumption, buy orders consumption, and the presence of passive sellers. I hope this is clear to you. Okay. So the absorption indicator will help us to identify the passive activity of the market. So that means every time there is an absorption, you don't necessarily have to get into the trade. I will get into the information of how to utilize it. But try to understand the concept. If within fraction of second maximum number of orders are getting placed, then we will assume that as a consumption or a passive consumption of those orders. If it is happening in the lower levels, someone is placing a market sell orders aggressively, and there is a absorption indication. That means someone consumed those orders in terms of the limit buys. So presence of passive buyer. All right. So if this is clear to you, then we have a setting. So let me quickly explain that to you. We have two settings. Okay. So basically, if you disable the automatic mode, the section of this quantity will be open. So you can, let me say like 5,000 quantities. So in that sense, you can manually control this, or the better way is to automatically control it. Automatic mode calculates it, basically look for 30 minutes. That means it looks for last 30 minutes, look back last 30 minutes, and then It calculates the average value of the orders that got executed in last 30 minutes. For example, assume it is 5. Last 30 minutes, 5 orders is the average orders that got executed, and it multiplies this by the multiplier that we have selected here. 5 5s are 5 is equal to 25. So the 25 quantities will be, that will be given as an input to the orders here. All right. So basically, it is always recommended that you use the automatic mode because it changes from instrument to instrument. When you use the automatic mode, automatically this particular quantity will be adjusted to the according dynamics of the market. All right. So if this is clear to you, you can change all this appearance setting and all according to your needs. So basically, absorption indicator will help us to identify the passive activity in the market. So now comes the question, how we can use all this information and take effective decisions. Okay. So let me explain. Assume that we are looking for a shorting opportunities. All right. Already it is 10:25. Okay. That means the initial 1 hour market is completed. Okay. So this is where we have the high. So this is where we have the high. All right. So around 17,990. Okay. So this particular level is going to be a like make or break level for Nifty at the present moment. Okay. So let me once again show you the information over here that in terms of the Nifty, we know that we want price to sustain at least above this particular price level to look for long opportunities. However, by any chance, if it is breaking, okay, so if you are a little aggressive, so you can also look for the decisive break of initial balance high. So basically we call the first 1 hour as initial balance high. If market breaks this particular level and also sustains, then also we can look for long opportunities at the present context. And in that sense, okay, so this is the IB high and price is presently approaching to this level. Two things can happen from this point onwards. Either market can break this particular level and it can move in the upward direction, or it can take the false break from here, and again the strong sellers may enter, and then again price will sustain at the below level. So that is the second probability we have. So ultimately we want to monitor the price when it approaches to this particular price level. Once price approaches to this level, how we can get into the trade? This is an important point here. Assume, right? Just a moment, let me disable the candlesticks. Okay. So at the present context, if the BBO indicator breaks this, okay, that's a condition number 1. That's a trigger number 1. And after that, assume we got, in most of the cases, we get absorptions. Okay. So that means presence of passive seller in most of the cases. So if that happens and if price again falls back, okay, but price resists to break or resists to sustain below this particular level, and then again breaking of this particular level can be the best point to get into the trade for long trade. Okay, long trade opportunity, break, pattern formation, and again further break of this. That's how we use the absorption indicator in most of the cases, because see, as I said, whenever there is a presence of absorption, it indicates a presence of passive buyers or passive sellers. But we want to combine that information along with the price activity as well. So price confirmation price confirmation followed by absorption is very critical. If that is happening, then that is a condition for us to get into the trade. I hope this is clear. Break of this, and again a pattern formation, a short pullback, and again the break of this particular level in terms of the BBO indicator can be our entry trigger. Point number 1. So where we can keep our stop loss? When this trigger happens, the immediate last swing low can be our stop loss. If it is followed by the passive, the passive buying absorption, okay, provided with a passive buying absorption, then that is a best point or best price level to keep our stop loss. Just 2 or 3 points below that we can keep our stop loss, and we can also use the absorption indicator to trial the stop loss. Okay, so how we can do that? Once you have taken an entry, and if the trade is working in your favor, and if it is making higher highs and higher lows in terms of the BBO indicator, you can simply trial your stop loss whenever there is an absorption, whenever there is a passive buy absorption. So at any given point of time, you don't want that particular absorption to be consumed. So you will stay with the trend until unless there is a until when there is a formation of higher highs and higher lows in terms of the BBO indicator. All right. I hope this particular point is clear to you. If you have any particular question, feel free to ask in the chat box. I'll be parallelly looking into the questions. Okay. So Venu is asking, Venu sir is asking what happened in 9:15 to 9:20 a.m. Okay. So this is where we have, just a moment. Let me enable the candlesticks, a 5-minute candlestick. Yeah. So this is where we have the first 5-minute information. All right. 9:15 to 9:20. All right. See, always understand when market opens, right? So there will be a lot of fluctuations, a lot of factoring in things that usually happens when market opens. So in terms of the overall information of order flow, it is very clear that, okay, first thing is that from here we saw the passive selling activity, but after that market resisted that particular level and again it moved back, and again we saw the passive selling, but market again took that particular level and again it is making higher and higher lows. So in that sense, consistently whoever is selling passively is getting trapped here. Okay, so those particular orders, and most importantly, after completion of right after 9:25, there was an immediate shift in terms of the point of control as well. So the maximum number of orders are getting placed at the higher levels and price is getting accepted at the higher levels. So possibility of making, market moving in upward direction is quite high in that particular level. And with this, okay, if you want to check at a specific interval level, then I think just a moment. Then the footprint chart, which is recently introduced. Just a moment. Yeah, which is very recently introduced, will help us or will help you to understand what is exactly happening within a specific interval. For example, let's say you are looking for a 5-minute information, right? So if you look for 5-minute information, so I just change time interval to 5-minute, and let me zoom in a bit and show you the first 5-minute information. Okay. So this is a footprint information of the first 5-minute transaction. All right. So as you can see, this is where, okay, footprint chart will help us to identify where the maximum number of orders are getting placed for a specific interval, because we have selected it as an interval at the present moment. It's an interval footprint, 5-minute interval. It shows us within 5 minutes, first 5 minutes, where the maximum number of orders took place. So as you can see, in terms of the first 5-minute profile, we can clearly identify this is where, this particular price level is where the maximum number of accumulation happened. Point one. And second important point, it tells us it differentiates the behavioral factor as well. What is the behavioral factor of those particular orders? If it is green, that means more number of buy orders, more number of market buy orders got executed at this particular price level. So ideally, when market was falling and someone is aggressively buying the market, that means they might have, they have certain agenda behind it, and as a part of it, right? So price follow up is also very important. When you look for order flow information, just not look for order flow information, combine the price always, all right, along with the order flow information. In this case, you can clearly see after completion of the 5-minute, price closed above this particular price level. So that immediate sense, it indicates that whoever entered aggressively in terms of the market buy orders at this particular price level is clearly defending the price, and market is presently moving in the upward direction. In both of the senses, it is indicating a positive sign. All right. I hope this is clear. Right. So if you want a specific interval time information in terms of the order flow, so we can look for, even price crossed VWAP as well. That's also one of the value addition point from Venu sir. So if you want to look for a specific interval time information, then you can utilize the footprint charts. And for immediate information and immediate getting and getting out of the trades and identifying the swing highs and swing lows. For that, you can immediately use the absorption indicator, and specifically POC you can also include it to identify the immediate shift in the market. For example, at the present moment, okay, from this point onwards, point of control shifted to the downward level, which is a kind of a good sign for us, provided that we are looking for a shorting opportunities at this particular price level. So in this case, when price approaches to this level, as I said, two things can happen. One scenario I explained, that it can break this particular level and we can look for buying opportunities followed by this particular pattern. But what if after this break, if it again falls back within this particular price level and starts to accept at the below level? So then we can also look for a shorting opportunities. As I said, the second scenario indicates a false break of IB high. So in that sense, we can look for a double confirmation. For example, double pattern confirmation. Let's say it break the price and there is an absorption, and again there is a pullback. Again there is a immediate reversal, but it failed to reach the last high, the last absorption level. Instead of reaching this particular level, it is breaking the last low. Then we can look for shorting opportunities. So this is where the pattern identification is also very important. We are combining both price pattern and also the volume information in the entire decision making process. I hope this is clear. These are the two scenarios that we can take decisions based on the price pattern formation. I hope this is clear. Let's look at the Bank Nifty information once, and let's see what is happening. Okay, there is one more way of identifying the day high and day low. So there is an indicator called price level. Okay, so price level indicator will help us to identify or basically mark the highest level of the day and the lowest level of the day. You can see if I enable the lowest level of the day, so this is where we have the low of the day, which is 41,650, and high, you can see that from the market open, high is consistently changing. That means market is making consistently a progress in higher level. So this will help us to identify the immediate high and low of the day. Okay, so that means at the present moment, this high is a very critical high for Bank Nifty. So around 42,200 level roughly. Okay. So here also I have added both point of control and absorption indicator and cumulative delta. All right. So similarly, we have a copy of, okay. So I want to explain this point as well. So if you want to make a copy of Bank Nifty, so if you want to plot footprint chart in a separate chart, you can also use the configure called instrument copy. So this particular indicator will help us to copy the same instrument in a separate window. But for that particular information, you can apply different settings. For example, Bank Nifty, I have created a copy, and here I'm using the information of footprint charts, right? Well, I hope this is clear. If you have any particular questions, feel free to ask. Or if you have any questions in terms of the settings as well, you can clearly ask. That's the context we have. I have explained all the context and present information. Any questions with respect to today's market scenario? By the way, how many of you are already using Bookmap Pro version? Cool. Venu sir is using, and just a moment, I want to show you this as well. If you visit bookmap.truedata.in, that's a website for Indian users. These are the different packages, and Bookmap India Pro is the present package that I'm presently using, and these are the advanced add-ons. By default, you will not get the add-ons when you download the software. Footprint and all will be automatically enabled, but if you don't have a configuration, so for example, if you don't have an absorption indicator, you need to go to the configure add-ons and you have to add it manually. So these are the downloaded files where you can download the files. If you visit the Bookmap India, okay, if you visit bookmap.com, sorry, and here we have a knowledge base, more knowledge base, and in this go to the add-ons, okay, and here we have all the advanced indicators. You can for example, absorption indicator, okay, So if I click on that, you will get the immediate information of what this particular tool does. And then you have a download absorption indicator option here. Using this link, you need to download the file, and the same file you need to import here by clicking add and import option in the configure add-on option. All right. Cool. Markandeya is using pro version. Cool. I hope today's discussion added value. If you have any particular questions, now it's time to just a moment. Yeah, if you have any particular questions, you can ask the questions using the chat option. That Satish is using. Cool. Okay, someone is asking Ninja Trader will help. Ninja Trader is I'm using presently as a charting software. So I'm not using it as a broker. So it's basically the charting tool that I'm presently using. The data that I'm using to plot all these charts are from TrueData. So TrueData is basically configured in my Ninja Trader, and presently I'm using the TrueData information, TrueData feed here. Okay. So and this swing information. So basically, if you press the Control I, the indicator option will be enabled. In this, you have to go to the swing option. There is a swing. So swing option will help you to identify the price action swings, the probable price action swings. Cool. I think price is approaching to IB high in Bank Nifty. In Nifty, sorry. Let's see what happens when price approaches to IB high. Meanwhile, if you have any particular questions, feel free to ask. Okay, Markandeya Guru is asking what is the parameter used to identify the swings. Okay, so this is the setting. I haven't changed anything. 3 is the strength that I'm presently using. If you change this, it will increase the signals. If you increase it, you will get the lesser signal. So I am presently using 3. All right. Liquidation indicator is not presently available for our market. So as you can see, these are the different indicators that we have presently. Okay, so we are working on other advanced add-ons, so which will be enabled very soon. Okay, cool. Let's see. Okay, so and once again I want to recall the overall discussion. So basically we have discussed a TLE framework where we identified the trend in the first place. Locations, that means where, yeah, so locations is where we identify the support and resistances, immediate support and resistance, previous day high, previous day low, and IB high and IB low. And then we take entry and exits based on different indication that is provided with the bookmap tools. So just a moment. Liquidity marker. Okay. Liquidity markers at the present moment is not available because it needs yeah, so it needs level 2 data, so that's what we are presently working on, and we will be able to cover that. Okay, we will cover that accordingly. Any further questions? Moment. In chart range profile, you are getting CRV. I am getting CVP. Yeah, CVP. Yes, I renamed it. Markandeya is asking in chart range profile. Okay, so yeah, I think I renamed it. Chart range profile. So I'm chart range volume. So I have renamed it Markandeya. So basically it shows the entire range, whatever the range that you have selected. So for that, it shows the volume profile information. So it's a session wise. Okay, so for example, right now I'm only selecting this particular, this is the only range that I have in the present chart. So it shows the immediate range profile and it shows the entire session. That means for today's session profile. One session for all related settings. So which instrument you want me to explain? I mean, which indicator setting you want me to explain? So I will cover that if you mention specifically. Print 15-minute. Okay. If you want me to explain any particular indicator setting, so I will try to cover it. You can mention in the comments. Okay, VWAP is basically, I think you know about the indication, right? So basically it's an indicator, volume weighted average price, which I think most of us know. But how to enable this? If you go to the studies configuration, okay, so then you have VWAP option. All right, so you can enable it from here, and volume bars also you can include. So basically it shows the volume bars at the lower level, and volume imbalances at the present moment it is not available for our markets. And let me explain you the footprint chart setting, okay, specifically because this is one of the key information which we get for a specific interval or a specific range. Okay, so if you go to the configure add-ons, okay, so footprint chart, so there are so many settings. I will explain you the, I have conducted a separate session on it separately on all the settings, but I will explain you the few important configurations. So first thing is that which type of footprint bars that you want to plot. Presently I have selected it as time interval. There are 4 different options. So basically time interval means for a specific time interval, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 10 minutes. So basically it's nothing but the candles, kind of a candlestick range in terms of the specific interval. And if you go to the reversal, okay, the footprint chart will be calculated based on the reversal of the ticks that you have selected. For example, let's say market is moving in upward direction and you have selected it as 20 ticks. That means for 20 points reversal, okay, for 20 points reversal, the new bar will be formed. New bar, the footprint bar will be formed when you select the reversal. In most of the situations, we don't use it, and the range is useful because this is where, like, for every 20 points range. Right now, the tick size that I have selected, okay, when you are subscribing to the new instrument, it will ask for, tick size, right? I have selected it as 1 for Nifty and Bank Nifty. Make sure that if you are using a footprint charts, make sure that it is 1. So you will have, um, specified and clean chart actually. So just a moment. Yeah. Range 20 points means for every 20 points. It's a straightforward thing. So for every 20 points, considering your tick size is 1, for every 20 points movement in the Nifty, we will get new, candle or new footprint chart. If you select it as volume based on the number of volumes, for example, 50,000, if I give 50,000, when there is a 50,000 orders completion for a specific bar, then the new bar will be formed. Okay, so ideally I keep it as time interval because most of the situations I look for a specific time interval, and within that what is happening. So for that information I look into the footprint charts. So I have kept it as time interval, and 15 minute is nothing but the interval times. So bar width is width of the bar. You can change it according to your needs. So basically the default setting I haven't changed. I think 80 is the default setting. I made it as 100 so that I can see the bars clearly. So then we have a background type. So on what background, on what basis the overall the calculation of the footprints are taking place. If you keep it as none, so you will only see the numbers data. Okay, you can see numbers, but the background information, if you want a histogram, all right, it only shows where the maximum. It's kind of a volume profile. Straight away it's a volume profile histogram. Histogram delta plus and minus will differentiate. Okay, so this is where it considers the delta and it differentiates it. Okay, so positive color means presence of aggressive buyers, negative color means a passive of presence of aggressive sellers. Similarly, the diagonal delta, it's nothing but the delta information only, but it shows the diagonal information. You can see earlier we were only seeing the histogram, but now even though it is a histogram, it is showing the diagonal information. So sell it indicates separately, buy it indicates separately. Earlier it was not the case. It was indicating in a one particular bar. Okay, and then we have a histogram buy and sell. So it's nothing but direct buy and sell, direct calculation for a specific price level. This is a buy, this is a level. This is not a diagonal calculation. It's a straightforward calculation. And then we have a full background single color. So it's nothing but the block which shows us only where the, in terms of the shades only, we can identify where the maximum numbers are taking place. In most of the cases, I don't use it because it will not help me to identify the information on an immediate basis. And then we have a delta plus and minus on a full bar. It is useful, but if you make it as delta histogram delta plus and minus, you will be able to see the profile along with that the color differentiations as well. So that will help you to get the immediate glance of the market the moment you look at it. All right. So this is one of the setting, and then other are basically with respect to, it's basically the appearance settings. So you can change the transparency and right left align. So it's nothing but you can see what happens with it. So I request you to once again, if you have a subscription, so go through the settings and make some test and trial around it. You will have a lot of ideas about. These are nothing but the appearance settings. Then we have, this is the background setting. This is a footprint setting itself. So what kind of footprints that you want to see? Buy to sell. So nothing but the text information. You can see at the present moment, left side we are seeing the selling order information, right side we are seeing the buying orders information. At this particular price level, 1150 orders got executed, market sell orders, 1400 market buy orders. How you want to see that information? Summation, it shows us at this particular price level total 2550 quantities got executed. It is not a differentiation of any market buy or market sell orders. It's nothing but the number of transactions that happened at that specific level. If you change it to horizontal delta, horizontally it will show us what is the delta. Okay, so basically it shows us the delta information. So 250 is the net differentiation of the delta is this particular price level. We can clearly see positive delta means buyers were active in terms of the aggressive buy. All right. And similarly at the last we have diagonal delta as like we have in this background type, similar to the diagonal comparison of you can see diagonal comparison of the delta. Okay, so there is not much of a difference here, but it diagonally compares the information of the delta. Okay, so ideally I want to keep it as buy into sell or horizontal delta. Basically buy into sell will help us to identify both market buy and market sell orders quantities at the same time. So then show text, you can completely disable and enable the text information. Text colors, you can also change that. Maximum font size, so automatically this font will be adjusted. What is the maximum font size you want to keep it as, so that you can give the input here. Most important point is the tick multiplier. This is so important. As I said earlier, like when you are subscribing to the new instrument, you will be having the tick size information, right? For this we have given a tick size as 1. In that sense I am multiplying it by 3. 3 into 1, 3. That means for every 3 points of the movement of the market, 3 range of the market, 3 points of range of the market, it will calculate the footprint information. It's as simple as that. If I make it as 1, it will only consider for one, for you can see the immediate there is a change in the appearance of the footprint. So it considers one particular tick, and within that one tick what happened. So that information will be plotted. This changes from instrument to instrument. Presently for Nifty I am using 3 or 4. So which gives us a neat chart. So this varies from one instrument to another instrument. Every instruments are different. So you can change this according to the visibility part. If it is visibly clear, then it's fine. So for Nifty 3 or 4 works, and double of the Nifty is for Bank Nifty. All right. So I hope this is clear. Yes, it's basically the order flow. Price is still sustaining below 17,990. So that's the beauty of having the context in the initial stage. So we are not doing anything at the present moment because we want the price to approach to a specific level. Then only we will take a certain decisions. Otherwise, it make no sense for us to get in and get out of the trades. Yes, it is possible if you are a immediate scalper and you have the context in mind. For example, if you wanted to short, whenever you see the passive selling activity, you can get into the short trade immediately and you can capture 2 or 3 points. So that's about the scalping. But it depends on an individual style. So I always recommend to have a trend following style. For example, let's say, as I said, if you want to look for a long opportunity, we want price to break this level in the initial stage, and a short pullback and a break of that particular level will be the conservative entry, point 1. And also we are trying to encash the maximum benefit from the prevailing trend. So I hope that is clear. That's why we use the context in the first place. So always stick to context, and random decisions you can always take, but always stick to context, which will help you to filter out most of the unnecessary trades and save you the money parallelly. All right. Yeah. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I have another 2 to 3 minutes. If you have any questions, I will try to explain it. Yes, so as I was saying that we are seeing a passive selling presence at the present moment. Market is at IB high in Bank Nifty. What about Bank Nifty? Yeah, Bank Nifty is still not has reached the day high, but in Nifty it is already reaching the day high. Let's see what happens after this is an interesting thing to observe and monitor. All right. How to identify absorption in order flow? Yes, you can. You can go to the add-ons, configure add-ons, enable the absorption indicator. This is nothing but the order flow information only. So it will automatically calculate it based on the orders that got executed. So that the number that you are seeing here is nothing but the enabling the, yes, Satish Shetty, day high is broken. All right, so I hope today's session added value to you and you have learned something new today. If so, why not to like this video and share with your friends so that it can also help them. Thank you so much for your wonderful time. I strongly recommend you to watch all the sessions and attend all the sessions so that we learn and grow together with the dynamics of the market on every week. On Monday, we will be having a session at 10 to 11 a.m. So once again, thank you so much for your wonderful time and see you in the next session. Until then, take care. Bye bye. Jai Hind.